Hello everyone and welcome to a special little video. Well, one, it's gameplay that I don't, often post because it's been a while since I actually posted a lot of just raw recordings of battles. But today, yeah, you see the title and you saw the party comp now as well, so it probably does not come as too much of a surprise. But yeah, rare gameplay from this channel, and I actually thought I'm gonna record a like a commentary on top here. Now obviously I'm not talking live here as I'm doing the battle. I did the battle by itself, and then I just wanted to record my voice on top to talk about it. So yeah, this is the Camazotz, the real battle in Last Belt 7. Very infamous battle, of course. Known for its pretty high difficulty, I guess. I certainly struggled with this battle when it released in last JP, excuse me, 2 years ago. But now I can take my sweet revenge, because as you guys know, Jinako is one of my favorite servants of all time. I have a near perfect copy as well on my main NA server. So also happens to be the case that Camazotz is fully weak to the Moon Cancer class, so you get both the attack and the defensive advantages against him if you're using Moon Cancer. Now for this solo, you briefly saw them there in the party as well. I brought the story support Habitrot. She's there just for the third skill, really. Honestly, with this, you'll see why, but the supports would have been pretty irrelevant anyway. And for the other support, I brought like an esports Liz I happen to have just for a little bit of bonus attack to make it go a little bit faster, I guess. But again, you'll see the supports really wouldn't have made too much of a difference anyway. I just wanted some characters that can be, removed immediately after the first turn. So here we're going. She's starting to impact, and you'll be seeing a bunch of those as per usual with solos. Lots of MPs, of course. Unfortunately, he loves to basically spam his MP damage resistance, and from what I remember, actually, I think he may have had 100% uptime on it in this battle. I'm not sure if it's because it's a solo, or if I got unlucky, or if it's actually always meant to be up there. Do let me know in the comments, because I didn't do that much research for the battle. But yeah, that makes the run a little slower since my MP will be doing considerably less damage. But no worries, as you can see, Jinako's face cards are still absolutely crushing. The extra attack in particular is just absolutely ridiculous. It can hit so hard. Because obviously when you're running, Brave Chains of the same card type, in Jinako's case you're running full arts, that means the extra card gets an even bigger boost. If, all the cards in the Brave Chain are of the same matching type. That's why servants that can do a Brave Chain of a single card type tend to have some pretty interesting damage potential. Even if Arts obviously doesn't have the highest damage ceiling. So now we enter the second bar here. Another thing I want to mention here is that I probably could have adjusted my command codes a little bit. I actually didn't adjust them at all. These are just kind of the default ones I tend to run on her. But I perhaps could have run more debuff cleansing command codes, because at the start of this bar, as you can see, I got that big attack down as well. And I think he's later going to be debuffing me with a bunch of poisons and maybe even some MP gain from what I remember. But again, you'll see it really wasn't that big of a deal. Because this fight is just... I honestly kind of feel bad for him, I'm not gonna lie. Also, one new mechanic here on the second bar for Red A is the Red Guts, also known as Break Bar Guts. I believe this is the first fight ever where we get to see it in action. So what that does is that it's a Guts that is on the enemy that prevents a bar from breaking. So instead of, preventing death... it prevents a bar from breaking, which is pretty interesting. Now, I believe it is removable because it doesn't have the protected border, so if you actually bring servants that do have buff removal, you can speed yourself up a lot on this second bar, because I believe it can proc twice here, so he can prevent his bar being broken 2 times. Obviously, with some resets in between, in the same turn, you could still possibly bypass it all in 1 turn, depending on your comp, etc. But, you know, if you happen to have buff removal, it is actually fairly good here. Again, granted, it can be removed, and I assume it would be. My memory is a bit hazy, but I'm pretty sure you can. I think people used to bring like Media or something in case you're lacking buff removal. It's not that big of a deal to remove it, I would say, but if you can, it certainly helps. So here we go, beating away at that bar. Again, the MP won't be doing a ton of damage because of his resistance and my attack down. But obviously, the MP is not always meant to be super damaging on Jinako anyway. The nice thing about the MP, obviously, is she gets the full 1-turn invul, which is ridiculously overpowered, obviously, in solos. Now, granted, her face card gains are pretty trash, especially now that I got hit by that MP gain down from him. But you can usually use the MP at least every other turn. And again, considering it's a full turn of invul, is pretty ridiculous. And also, her skill set itself has a full 1 turn of invul as well. And obviously, I bring the Atlas Mystic Code, which also has an invul if needed, and cooldown reduction, etc. Now here, I opted to go for my, Buster card to remove 1 debuff. But yeah, it didn't really help too much, I guess. I probably just kept hammering on that blue. Maybe a slight misplay, but it's okay. Also, I probably should have used the actual Mystic Code Cleanse there. If anything, I kind of forgot about it until later. You'll see it. But yeah, I probably should have used it. Oh, also another thing about this fight that I didn't mention is that, I mean, if you've done the fight, you already know, but you can't really use more than 2 active skills between your servants and mystic codes per turn. Because if you do, he kind of starts going a bit crazy for the rest of the battle. Now, it is definitely winnable at that point still if you choose to like spam your skills early on. You're just gonna have to deal with some RNG. But if you're very confident in your lineup, for instance in this solo, there's no need to risk it. You can just use max 2 active skills per turn and you are gonna be Gucci. So here we go, we're entering the final bar. This is definitely the toughest bar of the fight. Not only does he have the most health in this bar, he's also going to be gaining his MP a lot more often here. And I think there was something else too. Let's see here. Oh yeah, he gets another double guts, which probably can be removed too. Also, in case you happen to not have invul or special invul from Castoria, he also gets a sure hit on this bar break. So even though it is removable, he gets a full bar with the sure hit. So if you're not ready for the MP, you might just get wiped there. So be prepared when you actually manage to break the second bar for an immediate MP with sure hit on it. And again, buff removal, good here. But yeah, here we go. I am fully cleansed now. He doesn't do poisons on him anymore because that buff is now gone. So no debuffs on me. I use the third skill. Mostly just like earlier, just for damage if anything. But also mitigate a bit. Because, I mean, you see the title. I kind of really wanted to just finish the fight with full HP. Because I think it's just a nice little flex to be able to do a solo where your servant basically... by the end of the fight, it looks like they took 0 damage. Obviously, I definitely took some damage in this fight. But I never was even close to being in danger, right? Just because of how amazingly broken Jinako is for this fight. And I'm sure you can probably do this with a lot of Moon Cancers as well. Especially if you have good copies. But Jinako in particular is just that good. You might even be able to do this with a base copy. Granted, mine is really nuts, but considering the class advantage and her ridiculous invul spam, it might just be doable anyway. So there you go, he applies his MP resistance again. That was just a thing that he constantly just kept doing. Again, I'm not sure if it's meant to be 100% uptime, but he definitely made it seem like it was. So, again, who knows? So, the last bar is definitely ticking down. There's still the double guts there, but at this point, as you can tell, I am definitely not worried at all. I'm just thinking of how to use my cards to get more healing in future turns whenever I, want to be able to finish. Although I did not opt in to go for the healing CC there, because I figured I'll probably still have enough healing anyway. So there's another impact for you. I already lost count. I've been just yapping non-stop. Lots of MPs, of course. Also, for my C choice, I probably could have gone with something else besides Honey Lake as well. I thought maybe he would have invuls or dodges or something, so the invul pierce may have come in handy. But I never saw him use any of that, so I may have been misremembering here. But the damage, obviously, boost was nice because it's still 2k attack and you get the anti-burn damage. But maybe something like Smiling Face MLB would have been better to get more MPs off. But no matter what, as you can see, there was definitely margin for error. This was not really a tight fight. But I figure it's still a very cool fight. Because, again, a lot of people don't know about Jinako's solo potential. It is really slept on. Now, obviously, this fight is really, you know, it makes it seem like, you know, it's too easy because of the class advantage, because it's basically like her fighting Avengers here, the same thing. But even on neutral, she can actually do a lot of good solos. Now for neutral, you might need a fatter copy. No pun intended. I just realized how bad that sounds. But she's still very good at soloing. So here we go. I'm trying to make it so that I believe there's only one Guts left. I'm going to open with an Arts card before the MP to get a little bit more of a healing boost. Also, using an Arts Chain there gets the MP to another level of overcharge, which of course on Jinako provides more healing. So now I have 2 of the command codes and the MP at 200% overcharge. So that will equal to 6,000 healing, and with that, hey, won't you look at that, I'm full HP, the Guts procs, that's a reset because it's an MP, and the last face card and the extra will do the job on turn 13. Full HP finish right there, no debuffs, no nothing, we are Gucci. So there you go. If you enjoyed this video, hey, like on it and subscribe for more. Maybe I'll do more gameplay commentary if people want to see more. Who knows? Let me know how you felt about stuff like this. I just kind of yap non-stop. Apologies for that. And hey, shout out to my patron on the screen right now and Suit for being a big YouTube member. And see ya in the next video. Bye-bye.